Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, guys. We are here once again to do another question, a Q&A for Sabeel Superheroes. So let's get on to it. Remember, guys, to share this, to like it, to comment, to enjoy. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this question this week comes from a wonderful gentleman. His name is Rami Bayaya.
Yeah,
Yep. He actually has a business called Fashionatomy. You can follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and he also has a website, Fashionatomy Official. And what it is, it's medically inspired jewelry. He is trying to raise awareness for chronic diseases and disorders. So he has that ring for Down syndrome that I was wearing during the buddy walk, that beautiful butterfly, and it also looks like 3 chromosomes.
Yes, I like that one.
Yes, and he also has
Necklaces,
the
braces.
necklaces for mental health and breast cancer awareness, and he also has a bracelet for neurogenic bladder because of his nephew. So so it's really, really cool. I would suggest you guys all to check it out. Once again, Fashionatomy Official. I'll put the name and the website in the comments below so you guys can know how to write, because I kept on calling it Fashion Anatomy Official.
Rami, this time is free, advertising. So.
Okay. All right, so the question is, and I'm going to actually put a twist to this because it is towards me. As a mother of a child with Down syndrome, what were your initial reactions when you heard the news? And then the other part is that did you change your parenting style compared to your other previous kids? So like, did your parenting skills change compared to the boys? Many of you guys actually know my story of how I reacted. I've posted it on several times on Instagram and on Facebook of how I reacted when when we had Sabeel, because that's when we found out. Basically, the doctor gave me a call, and over the phone said, your daughter has Down syndrome. We're gonna send you to a geneticist. Have a good day. So that was my, and you guys can see the reaction on that. But I don't think anybody has ever asked you your reaction of having of finding out, your initial reaction of finding out that Sabeel was going to have Down syndrome. So
my reaction. I mean, I'm sure you remember. That period of time, or that time when this, so I was simply going with the, I had prepared myself that we are gonna have, I didn't of course know the full meaning of special need, but I had that thing in, those thoughts in me, and that we are going to have something or some condition, I want to say, with our daughter.
So
and we knew it was a daughter, obviously, but
speaking about that, when we went into the sonogram that stated that we were going to have a girl, and I told you go to work because I thought it was done. And our doctor came in like 45 minutes later and stated that your baby girl has the soft characteristics of Down syndrome. You remember that day?
Right.
Right. And I got asked that question about if I wanted to abort or not.
And that was the immediate answer, no.
Yeah.
And we were not going to take any further tests to know what exactly is going on, because it's not going to matter, and we're going to have our daughter, and we're going to raise her. And
so when I gave you that call, when I finished from the doctor and everything, and I gave you that call, what was your initial reaction? Because I remember you giving me like the religious pep talk. Like you went on like a good
Right.
try to fill me up with the
Absolutely. So
holiness.
I do remember actually where exactly I was. I was on my way back from I think getting something for you from you know your mom. So and then we on the way back I had already talked and arranged with Sheikh Mohammed Ajmi. He wanted, of course, to be with us. So I appreciate, of course, everything and all the efforts that he did, because without him explaining to us the religious, you know.
But that was at the
part.
hospital. I'm talking.
Right, and he I saw that.
I'm talking about when I called you up
Right, because I
after
had
the
talked to you.
sonogram.
After the sonogram. Okay, not after the.
Not after the delivery. After the sonogram. When
my-
Dr. Colchersman
I-
said it was a soft characteristics.
Yes, to be honest with you, at that point, I just, I don't know, something inside me made me, alhamdulillah, made me, you know, be calm and not even react. It was yes, I responded, but I didn't react to it, meaning I just said alhamdulillah, and I just waited to see what that is, how that's gonna be, and what exactly we're gonna be, you know, which is the interesting part of it, of course, that what's gonna happen, knowing that we're not gonna take any further tests, and I do not remember from that point and on that we did worry much about it. Actually, I mean,
Yeah,
you probably
well-
did between you and yourself, but we didn't keep talking about it.
Yeah,
Because
because
delivery
that
happened.
was one of the things that you actually told me. It's like, we're just not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, Rabbil Alameen, you know, God Almighty, He's going to, whatever He does for us
Is it for a reason?
is for a reason. And
there's
so take
hikmah
it,
and wisdom.
yeah,
for
so
you know,
take it, you know, as something good. And then you literally said, don't tell anybody. So
Don't
so-
tell anybody, because
don't
it's
tell
gonna just
anybody.
add pressure to you.
Yeah.
And to me.
And then the following month is when I did the next sonogram, and they were like, the calcifications. They either went away or they formed into two big ones. And so
Right.
after that, it was basically like, we'll just wait and see.
So I have to admit that the reason I didn't, I want to say think too much about it, or I didn't see that there's a need to think too much about it, because I had prepared myself already that, subhanallah, from you can translate this part, of course, which is, عسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم.
I'm
So
not gonna know how to translate that.
yeah, do not worry about one one thing that could be actually a blessing to you, and from that point only, from that way of thinking, I didn't want to think about it too much, and I just honestly couldn't wait till the delivery happens and you get out of there with fine and healthy and everything, and then we will deal with it at that point, because anything from that time till delivery, it wasn't really gonna matter.
Right. So
I do remember now, though, your reaction from A to B to C to Z
my reaction when
to how you responded after delivery.
After
Because I do remember everything, and that's where I.
how did I react after delivery? You weren't there. You had to go pick up the kids.
You did call me. That's where I said you. I remember where I was. So I
Okay.
did, yes,
You-
I
you
didn't
were
pick up the
picking-
kids. I think dropped off something. Or
You dropped off the kids, I think.
And then at that point, this is where I have to go back again. Sheikh Mohammed Ajmi, يعني, Barakallah, he wanted, so he doesn't like to do these things, but in this case, because he really cared enough to come and be with us, and he went to the NICU there, to that part. But back to where, when you called me, you were crying, because, and I was wondering, why are you even crying? Because it's not like we didn't know.
Right.
So
I
until
think
today, I didn't even have the chance to ask you this question. So
the reason why I was crying, it
So
was
here-
literally
here-
that
So-
5 minutes of me crying, and it came from right when the doctor called me up. I think, and
maybe
you know,
the way they said it.
it was the way that they said it, and you know,
I always had a problem with the way doctors say things. So Rami, but yeah, I mean, me and you and probably will have to talk about it so I can explain to you what I mean.
And you know, there's actually a great organization now called Hopestory. Hopestory. And if any of you guys know about Noah's dad, on social media, he had founded this wonderful organization called Hopestory.
Mish Zaid. Noah's dad. Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, his name is Noah's dad.
Noah.
And he created this wonderful organization
What's the
where
name?
it's helping. It's planning on helping educate basically doctors on bedside manners on how to deliver the quote-unquote diagnosis of Down syndrome. And so
You have the name?
it's called Hopestory.
Hope.
Hope,
Yeah, just
story.
to make sure.
.com, and also they have Instagram and Facebook under Hopestory. So if that was anything you guys would want to donate to, I would honestly say donate to that. It's an amazing organization. But going back to your, since you're asking me why was I crying, it was literally because I got a phone call. And it wasn't even like they didn't come and they didn't say, you know, it's going to be okay. It's, let me tell you something, the wonderful things about, you know, Down syndrome and what we have gone through in the medical field and, you know, so on and so forth. It was, hello, Mrs. Sayed, your daughter has Down syndrome. We're referring you to a geneticist. Have a good day. And click. And that's it. So it wasn't even like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was like a bam, bam on me.
Yeah.
And I was by myself, and Sabeel was in the NICU already.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was just
it's not like you could also get up and do things that, you know.
Right,
that,
right. And so it was one of those that like I had to cry, and then like luckily, you know, I like to like research stuff anyway. So when I went on when I went on to the surface, I was looking up everything, and it was like, okay, well, they can go to school, they can go to college, they are making their own businesses, you know, everything is absolutely normal. It's just that, you know, people with Down syndrome take a little bit longer than certain things.
Absolutely.
And
So forward a little, so I know that fast forward. What am I talking? Okay, I'm translating Arabic to English. You know, direct translation. So, speaking about the parenting part, and I'm talking about now, you know, a month following. Sabeel's birth, and 2 months and 3 months, and so in brief, I'm gonna say this because it's already 1:05 anyway, and we have Jumu'ah prayer. So I would come home. I remember I would come home and knowing Aya is the one that actually so much researching, like she said, you know, things about Down syndrome, and every time I came home late at night, she had. You know, she was like literally waiting for me and excited, which is the best part. Excited, I'm telling you, like literally sitting on the bed, and with her, you know, legs straight, you know, and waiting like, okay, you're back. So let me tell you what I found out. There is this Jacob Anderson who has Down syndrome, and Ala, you wouldn't believe it. He is doing so great that he is actually in not even high school. You said that he's in college now in his second year, and that's just, you know, one of the things that how every night I came home from work, it was like those nights were very interesting to the point that even if I was tired, I had to. I felt like, okay, tell me about it, and she would have that much information that I was just amazed. How she was able to gather that information, because it did seem like she did spend a lot of time, and it's like an unending story, you know, and you just read, and there's always discovering things and finding out about new things, because obviously she's trying to see how Sabeel's next day would look like next month,
Right.
and so forth. So that part, I have to give it to you honestly as well. And thank you so much.
I like
for
doing
that.
these videos because I get compliments from you.
Yeah, no, because this is when and you could tell I'm excited, because honestly, I do appreciate what you're doing, and the fact that because I'm not gonna be the. I mean, knowing that you are doing, knowing that you do more than I would have done honestly on researching that and doing things and all that, and the support also from, my in-laws, amazing, especially here. Especially Tanya, shout out to Tanya, and so yes, this was an exciting. I want to say not so much to say about like you were worried. It's
Right.
more knowing that we are gonna get her to where she needs to get to. It's just we need to look for those really positive news, positive,
Right.
facts that can help us.
Yeah, and I think that's part of
Not
the
what
second
she,
question
not
too.
what she cannot do, but yet what she can do.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the second part of the question was, did your parenting style change basically compared to the boys? And with the boys, it was, whenever they want to do something new, we research it. I mean, we research it, we try to get it the best, and we put in all of our efforts. So, luckily with Sabeel, I mean, it was just more research. But that's the only thing that had differed, because I've even heard that like sometimes I put more attention onto the boys than with Sabeel, especially with schoolwork and like activities and whatnot. Trying to get
You
them to
still
their
balance.
best.
I do remember that you still amazingly, without even me noticing this, but now that we're thinking about it, as far as the boys and their portion of attention, I felt like you did really good, and we both did good. We balanced between Sabeel
Yeah.
needs and the boys' needs.
Yeah,
you
I
know
mean,
what
I don't try to. I'm not trying to like put Sabina first and then the
No.
boy second. No, they're on equal levels of terms. So if Sabina gets in trouble, she gets in trouble. If Lutfi gets in trouble, he gets
She
in
got
trouble.
smacked this week, by the way, for the first time.
What are you talking about?
Sabeel, no.
No, she did not get smacked. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so like they get
Yeah,
the level,
same,
okay?
yeah, the level of
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so all three of them, when they get in trouble, they get in trouble. When they do good, they do good.
How about them helping us? Well, look,
Well, Lutfi and Hamza are great about that, especially Lutfi. He's amazing when it comes to helping out with his sister.
Yeah.
Hamza's getting there, and Sabeel doesn't help. That's the only thing.
It does.
She's a diva when it comes to that part. She's like, no, I'm just gonna start throwing stuff.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned this, because of course I know that they are helping. I just wanted to point this out. It does really make a difference when you have, siblings helping in this case, and wanting to help. And I like how Hamza for now is, although his personality is not like that, but in this case he is a follower as far as what Lutfi does, he wants to do.
Yeah.
So Lutfi wants and loves all the time to help, and he always comes from the other side from the other side of the house, and then he goes, Mom, can I do this? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do this. I'll take her upstairs, or I'll feed her. So he learned to do these things, and then of course Hamza obviously started doing them, and they just both love doing that. And Sabeel also loves, now that she knows how to go upstairs and plays with them. So
Right.
so the idea of having siblings and helping is really, really, it does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
I
So
hope we answered the question on this.
yeah, I think we answered the question. I mean, our parenting styles haven't changed. We don't try to change it. So there's that part. And you gave the initial reaction, so we're good to go. So thank you so very much, Rami, for your question this week. Once again, to go onto his Instagram, it's Fashionatomy official. So fashion and then ATOMY
Yeah.
official. And you can see the beautiful jewelry that he's creating. He's coming up with new stuff with diabetes, and I totally forgot the other one that he's creating right now. But he's doing really, really good, and I hope the best for you on that. And once again, if you guys have any questions, please submit them to us, DM, private message, text message, whatever. We'll add it to our list.
And for 2019, we are thinking to make sure to start doing something more, stable and name it like I want to call it episode, Friday episode, and give it a name like.
Yeah, we need a name. So you know what? If
I
you
have it
guys
already.
can figure out, well, I don't want your name. I want their name. So
Yeah,
so I want your guys' name. So if you have a name for our
our episodes.
our episodes, our blogs,
Yeah.
whatever, give it to us, and
Because we would like to commit to have it on a certain time, certain day, and that will be the day. Just like
Yeah.
something that you would be live and you can
yeah.
count on.
So once again, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Follow us, share us, like us, and we're also on YouTube. So Sabeel Superheroes.
But I'm بخير in advance. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's. Merry
that
Christmas
2019
to everybody
better
that celebrated. Happy Hanukkah as well. Hopefully 2019 will be better than 2018. So you guys,
Happy belated Hanukkah it was.
I just said Happy Hanukkah.
Belated.
All right. Take care,
Peace.
superheroes.
Thank you.
Have a good day.